Thank you for your comment. I got to tell you that I completely broke down when I read it this morning. And just because, I wish I would have had TikTok or really any social media when my son was younger. And to hear a mom kind of explain her journey with her son and ADHD would have been so helpful. To answer your question, I think I got him diagnosed officially by a physician in the second portion of his third grade year. I don't know, how old are you in third grade? It just wasn't working for school. And then he would be like falling behind on assignments. He wasn't finishing his work in class. He was super disorganized. Like his teachers were just like, I can't even find anything in his desk, like all these things. And so I finally was like, I carried this child, so I know that there's something that he is struggling with and that I need to help him fix. And so I just went into the doctor and they give you like this test, this quiz that you got to take. And sure enough, he passed with flying colors. And she's like, yeah, he has ADHD. Let's put him on Ritalin. And I was like, okay. We started putting him on Ritalin, and did it help with schoolwork and other things? Yeah, but then it gave him a bunch of stomach issues and headaches and migraines, and then he was always missing class anyway, so he was still falling behind on classwork. And so, I went back to the doctor, and she's like, okay, well, let's switch him to Adderall. So we switched him to Adderall, and it was the same thing with Adderall. So I just started doing research, when he was younger, and really trying to find alternatives. I think what the straw that broke the camel's back, as they say, was when they had to do remote learning. And he was in fifth grade at the time. When I tell you my son drowned, drowned, like, sorry. Um, by the time December of 2020 came around, my son had a 32% GPA. And that is not him. Like, he is super smart, and I just knew he was drowning, and he just didn't know how to say it. Remote learning was not good for him. He was completely lost, like had no system in place to figure out assignments and keep up with classwork, and he was struggling. So in January of 2021, I decided to take FMLA from my job, and I dedicated 3 months to helping him put a system in place for him to keep track of his assignments, to keep his desk organized, to really manage his life. And it was during that time that I just started doing a bunch of research, and I just knew that there had to be another way. It had to be another way. And I rolled up my sleeves, and I like talked to a naturopath, and I started understanding supplements, and I like did everything that I could to figure out how I can help him. And I will tell you that the supplements have completely changed his life, completely changed his life. And not only that, but by the time he was in sixth grade, like in the middle of the year, I also knew that that learning environment of regular public school was not for him. It was not for him. And so I started researching different types of schools and charter schools, and I made the decision to move him out of my district and into another school district that has a free public charter school that has group-based, project-based learning. And that's where he is now. He's in seventh grade. He's on supplements, and he's doing project-based learning at his school. And when I tell you, he is thriving, absolutely thriving. And I am so happy for him because he's like functioning, and he can like focus on being a child and focus on experiencing all that junior high has to offer him, and not always be worried about, why am I different? Why am I struggling? Why am I failing? Why am I like this? And I feel like he lost so much of his childhood focused on that. And so I urge you, if you have a child that you think has any type of issue, do your research. I cannot stress that enough. Really like sit down and map out like the problems or issues that your child is really, really struggling with, and find out what works for them. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for your comment, and I'm happy to help. Feel free to send me private messages or comment below if you have any more questions.